Yo, we're live. Welcome to the Diren Kartal show.
Okay, guys, welcome to episode 30. This is episode 30, man. And today, I've got Mr. J. Morton. What's going on?
How are we doing, Diren? You all right?
I'm excited to have you.
Good, same.
I think you're my biggest guest, you know.
Really?
Not physically, because you're not that big, but you're my biggest guest, man.
Yeah?
You're my biggest guest, yeah.
Good.
I'm buzzing to have you. Before we begin, I ask this to everyone. What's your Nando's order?
Trying to think. Because I go to Nando's quite a bit because I get 20% off for being in the military.
What?
Yeah, and
Really?
I never handed my, it's called a Mod 90. And if you show your Mod 90, you get 20% off.
Mate, that's enough for me to go to military.
Yeah, I never handed it back in. So every time I go in, I just have to put my finger over the date that it expired and just flash it in the face and I get 20%
No way.
off. Yeah. So I'm a medium chicken, half chicken.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I've gone into salads. I get the Mediterranean salad.
Really?
Yeah. And then I get like a side of like grains or something like that.
No peri-peri chips?
No, because I'm shredded, man. I don't eat chips.
Mate, you're already in good shape, man. You're the guy that you're like the real life action man.
Okay, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's a big compliment.
Yeah.
I wanna ask you another question actually.
Sure.
What's did you do a cold bin this morning?
Do you know what? I didn't.
Really?
No.
Is this something that you do every day?
Yeah, try to. I'll probably do like 6 days out of 7. But obviously the summer's it's been the summer, hasn't it? So
Yeah.
the water's not been cold enough. And it's just now gone. There was a bit of frost in the air this morning, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But you had me up at stupid o'clock this morning to
Sorry,
get to
man.
London.
I apologise, man.
Yeah.
But what? Why do you do that?
The bin.
What's that? Like,
Do you know what? Like, there's loads of like health benefits. Isn't like cold water exposure. There's
yeah.
loads. If you Google that, there's loads of health benefits related to it. But for me, do you know what? It's like better than having a coffee in the morning.
Okay.
Like
really?
So if I just jump out of bed, like I'm quite a warm sleeper anyway.
Yeah.
Like sleep with the windows open.
Yeah.
So I'll get out of bed and like the first thing I do is just walk downstairs and just jump in the bin.
Really?
Yeah, that just wakes me up. And then I have coffee. And then I'm like,
where do you get the water from? Is it just from the tap? Like you get it ready from the evening? Like how does that happen?
No, I keep the same water.
Same
in.
water?
Yeah.
Do you jump in the shower after?
Yeah, of course. There's like floaters on the top now.
I've heard you've got another morning ritual.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else knows about this. You're looking a little bit nervous. I want to know about Jay's curry coffee.
Jay's curry coffee.
Yeah.
That's Sven, isn't it? Sven's told you about the curry coffee.
I told him, I was like, you need to give me something. I said, you need to give me something about
Ask
Jay.
him about curry coffee. That's our future, man, and Sven's. We're going to go into the curry coffee business.
I was going to say, you're going to make it a brand? Jay's curry coffee. That's
yeah,
got a
because
ring.
you don't see it over here.
You don't, mate. What is it? I don't know what is it? You put curry in coffee or something?
It looks like it's like turmeric coffee.
Okay.
So
What's that?
it's turmeric. You know turmeric.
What's that?
It's like the orange stuff that they put into curries.
Okay. Why do you say you know that? Because I'm Turkish. You said that. You're like, you should know that.
I can get away with on this.
Bruv, mate, you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can swear, you can act as free. Like, this is just two mates. I just put you in the friend zone there. We in the friend zone or what?
Are we mates?
Yeah.
You said
wicked.
best mates, didn't you?
Yeah, best mates.
Yeah, I thought so.
But I don't need
Good.
Sven to know
Keep
about
it
this.
up.
He might get jealous.
Yeah, he won't listen.
He won't listen. He probably won't
It's
listen.
me. He's bored of my voice.
Yeah, mate, he's probably replaying his episode 24 times a day, right?
Constantly,
non-stop. So where are you from?
Curry coffee. You forgot. You asked me what curry coffee was.
No, where are you from?
Preston. Is it originally?
Yeah.
Yeah, Preston, north of England.
And then like you moved around before the whole military stuff?
Yeah, nah, not really. Like born in Preston and then stayed there till probably, till I joined the army, 19.
With family?
Yeah, like all my family's up there. My brother lives up there. He
Yeah.
lives in Manchester. And then, pretty much as soon as I joined the army,
Yeah.
Catterick for 6 months and Colchester for 4 years. And then obviously moved around whilst you're in the army, deployed overseas.
What was the first thing you said before Colchester?
Catterick.
What's that? Is that like...
It's even further up north. You might not know where it is.
Is that where you have to train?
Yeah, so that's basic training. So
And how old were you then?
19?
19. Okay, so you went to college and stuff?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I did. Well, I had to say to people I did a year at college doing sports science, but it turned out to be less than a year.
Really?
Yeah, I just hated it. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy playing sport.
You couldn't sit still, innit?
I just don't like being indoors. I don't like people telling me like what to do, essentially. And like college is that, isn't it? You've got a teacher that tells you what you should know and tells you what to do. And
like, this is how you pass. This is what you have to write to pass. And it's like, this is the only way. And you don't like that.
Nah, I hate that. I'm a bit more free spirited. I like to just do my own thing and not be sat indoors. And do you know what? I don't know. It's probably the same as you. That's why you're doing what you do. But I like just, I don't know, a bit of non-conformity, but also like, just if everyone's doing like one thing, then like just do something else. Or like I always say, like if you find yourself doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing the wrong thing.
Hey, yes, that's good. That's a nice little clip for the Instagram post. That one, dropping some bombs there. Would you say you were like that in the military? Because that would be hard. Because you have to do what you're told, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you tell me.
So like, the military's great. Like, obviously you go through your basic training and that instills discipline. And, every military guy is disciplined, whatever regiment is in, because, essentially to operate at a high level overseas requires discipline. But, I think the one thing that's probably, old school military and the reputation the military gets is very like discipline, like focused. But, these days it's, especially in the special forces world, it's, freedom of thinking, like, because you've got to be creative, haven't you? You've got to, you get given.
You've got to solve problems, right?
Of course,
because that's what
solving,
you are.
Yeah, solving problems at a high level under stress, and
because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be SAS. I'm assuming that's why you're there. You're there to solve problems.
Yeah, sure,
right?
and that's like SAS is like a massive breeding ground for like creativity and free thinking. It's like, you're all individuals. You all bring different skill sets to a team or a group, and that's what makes it so strong. And everyone's got a different opinion of how you do something or how you set out on a task. Yeah. And that's like wealth, isn't it? You know what I mean? You've got a team that's probably 6 to 8 men. You've got a squadron which is full of like 30 blokes, and if they're all thinking differently, then there's strength in that.
Do you feel like you keep your friend circles like that now as well? Like,
100%.
Do you know what I mean? It's like adding.
But then it's harder to find friends.
Right?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. It's like having I say this with me, myself, James, Alima, my other friend, Ali, whatever, like, even you come to the next lads trip. And like, if you looked at it, like, you wouldn't think like any of us would be friends. You got a black guy with an Irish accent, a Turkish guy that looks like an Bollywood Zach with budgie smugglers on. You've got a Welsh guy with a Swedish accent. You know what I mean? So like, if you look at it, you would think, how the fuck have these people like become friends?
Yeah,
but I feel like
misfits that fit.
Yeah, but I feel like then, like you said, like with the whole thing with everyone has their own strengths. I think that's what it should be around, because like that's how you learn from others, right? Because there's no point, I guess, sounds a bit bad, but hanging around with a mate that is kind of exactly the same as you.
Yeah, that's boring, man. And like, do you know what? Like talking about your friend circle, it's like everyone's doing their own thing, right? Yeah. There's energy in that. Everyone's got like energy, and when you all get together, that's more energy. It's like you vibe off that, don't you? And you get energy from that, and it's like, it's either that or you go and visit your mates that do the same 9 to 5 job, and they drink in the same bar and they play football on a Saturday at the same time, and that for me, it's like the only thing they've got to speak about is that, right? Yeah. Is the shit banter that they've got at work. Fuck, it's boring though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck me, like the wealth of like stories that a fucking black Irish dude's got, like a Welsh, Swedish,
exactly.
Do you know, there's some stories there. Everyone's got an individual story.
Exactly. And I feel like that sort of like the whole 9 to 5 thing, for myself, obviously for you as well, that sort of commitment, like, no offense to anyone that is obviously doing that, but like, it stresses me out.
Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, if that's your gig, like, fair play to you, and you can hand on heart say that you're happy doing that as well, because fucking, I'll tell you what, like, half of those people in that city, they look fucking miserable come Tuesday, and they're all sat self-medicating with booze. Do you know what I mean? Yes.
And you know what? I've like, when I was PTing in Sydney, here as well, because actually my old gym's actually around the corner, and like all the corporate clients that I had, is like, and like they're making good money, but like they don't seem happy. Everything is like pushing towards drugs, alcohol, and just nothingness. Do you know what I mean?
It's sad.
It's sad, but why do you think people find it so hard to break away from that?
It's a routine, isn't it? Especially like earning good money. Like you think, you come to the city, you're on you're on 100 grand a year.
Yeah.
That goes at 200 grand a year. You've got a wife, you've got kids. You buy the house that fits that lifestyle and that amount of money that you get given. It's like,
and then you can't pull, and
you can't pull out of that.
Yeah.
And then the fucking risk at being like 35 years old, 40 years old, and say, fuck this, I'm going to go and work in Starbucks and be the happiest man alive. Do you know what I mean?
Guys, you should always pull out. Just letting you guys know. Yeah, you should always pull out. But do you reckon there's that element of like, I'm assuming, well, no, I guess like the fear of like failing at what kind of doing what you want to do, Because imagine if everyone was like to do and chase what they enjoy, right?
Be a sick will, right?
It'd be fucking amazing. I reckon they'd be having. Like, I'm excited to wake up in the mornings. Are you like that?
Same, yeah.
Like to tackle whatever.
To get in a bin.
Yeah, mate.
I'm excited to get in a bin. Do you know what I mean? I like
You're
look
a
forward.
madman.
Yeah, like because I don't like the evenings. I hate the evenings. I'm not an evening person. Because I'm a doer, right? I need to be doing things.
Yeah.
I need to be constantly like. I get up in the morning, like have breakfast, drink some coffee, and I start doing things always. And like I was having a conversation with Kate, my manager, recently, and because she's the same, we need to be active, like have projects going on, and like weekends have started boring me,
mate. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because I find that moment where I have nothing to do, and it's like a Saturday, and I'm just like,
mate, yeah,
I'm bored, man.
I think it's like. Because majority of people are used to the Monday to Friday, right?
Yeah.
And even when you got projects going on, or you email someone, or your manager has to email someone about something, they'll usually reply from a Monday to a Friday. Whereas you've got 2 more fucking days that you can utilize,
Yeah.
And utilizing that day isn't actually an issue if you love what you do.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
But then that's the classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, you try and put a percentage on people that have a 9-to-5 job and aren't satisfied.
Yeah,
I reckon that's pretty fucking high.
Yeah. But,
and then that comes like their weekend, like Sven, classic example.
Yeah.
Like it was bank holiday, wasn't it, a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
And what did I say? Like I sat at home. I think I was on my own, like just doing whatever and that.
Yeah.
And I text Sven. I was like, "Fucking hell, mate!" I was like, "It's bank holiday." I was like, "Normally you'd be out and stuff," and he just messaged back. He's like, Jay, he's like, for us, every day is bank holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true, isn't it?
Every day is a holiday.
I don't see those like weekends and holidays as weekends and holidays because, like, we just had a weekend now, and all Saturday I work, all Saturday and Sunday I worked.
Yeah, same.
Just did not get away from the computer.
Same, and you enjoyed it.
Well, it's different.
It's different.
Fucking challenging.
Different,
stuff,
but then you would kind of knowing you doing that gives you say the freedom of during the week where you can kind of do what you want to do.
Yeah,
is. I guess it drives you to do it. I think there's also like there'd be so many people where you say to them like, "Oh, so do you love your job?" They're like, "Yeah." I don't think everyone's honest about it.
Nah, like
the pressure.
Do you know what? It's a bit like that imposter syndrome, isn't it? Not imposter. I got that wrong. Not imposter syndrome. What's the other one? I tell you what, mate. James wrote about it in his first book. What is it?
Hashtag not an ad. You're talking about tall poppy syndrome? No.
Nah, it's that syndrome.
It's going to come back to us.
Yeah.
It'll come back to us.
Sunk cost.
Sunk cost fallacy. Sunk cost fallacy. Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, people do that with
everything.
Invested,
yeah, like that 9-to-5 job, you've invested everything into it.
Everything.
You've gone to college, you've got your degree, like everything,
Yeah. Relationships.
You come home and you speak about it with your girlfriend or your wife and your kids, and like that's investment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's like to then just turn around and say, do you know what?
Boom.
I'm overweight. Like, fancy my PT. Like,
yeah.
I want to have an affair with him.
Please, just let me. Can I let go? But yeah,
but then you relate it to like male suicide, right? Like, those fucking shocking statistics. Like, what is it? A male between the age of 35 and 45. Like, his biggest danger is himself.
Yeah.
Like, he's more likely to die from suicide than anything else. Like,
and it's because I think
it breaks my heart, that kind of shit.
But I think guys like you talking about this sort of stuff, I think it will help. I think you'll influence a lot of guys.
Yeah,
to talk about it more freely, especially like military guys and stuff. Because I know from like being a Turkish background, like the men are very driven on high testosterone. And like, there's a lot of times where I know a lot of men, a lot of my family members don't actually talk about their feelings because it might come across as weakness.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean? But whereas more guys like yourself talking about this sort of stuff, it'll make people feel better. Like, oh, Jay's talking about it. Guy's fucking climbed Everest twice.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, I think it's, do you know, I think like the more, like it's all about like just stepping out your comfort zones, isn't it? It's like talking about it is stepping out your comfort zone. And
it's where the magic happens, right?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, in everything, it's like leaving that 9-to-5 job, stepping out your comfort zone. And I think like the more, you know, the more times you do this kind of stuff, the more like, you know, the better you get at it, don't you? Yeah. Like if you're constantly stepping out your comfort zone, the next time it comes to stepping out your comfort zone, and that might be just opening up about the fact that you hate your job. Yeah.
You don't feel awkward.
No, you're like, do you know what? Yeah. And then you get the reaction that's just like, oh, seriously, man, that's fucking... And you're like, Jesus Christ, he didn't come here puff. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what happens. That is, and you know what? What I love seeing is when that happens, because I know what that was like. Like, I felt that feeling, and that like feeling is like, doesn't matter how much money I had, or doesn't matter who was around me. That feeling I had when I felt that was like so amazing. Do you know what I mean? And I think people don't realize that until they do it, and that's why if they are not happy, like you need to do something about it.
Yeah, sure.
Because like, even if, for example, I think like when I went online PT, when I was on the gym floor, I was earning quite a bit. I was charging $120 per session. I was fully booked. I was doing 30 to 40 hours a week in Australia. But to go online, I knew I had to cut out a big portion of that cash. I went from earning $3-4 grand to $1,000 a week, which is like £400-500 going online. I knew that would damage me like that, but the freedom I had earning less, I was so much more happier. Yeah. And I think people don't see that, and I think that's why I don't think it's ever too late.
No, I don't.
But I guess if you have kids and family and whatever it is,
so it gets hard. Like you can't, harder. Like, you know, I don't judge anyone. Yeah. Because you can't don't, you know, the old classic, don't judge a man until you've walked 1,000 steps in his shoes, whatever it is. But it's like, you can't judge everyone because everyone's like done their own path, haven't they? And you can't like, it's hard for like, you know, that might end up with that guy living on the streets, or you know, that, you know, not saying like that's for everyone kind of thing. Yeah. For me, that excites me. Do you know what I mean? It's like going and you know,
going into the unknown.
Yeah, massively. It's like best, it's like all I've done in my life is like going to the unknown.
It's so good. I love it. I love like getting on. This might sound weird, but like I love getting on a flight and not know who I'm going to sit next to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird, but like you can go into like, go sit down and you're like, you can just manifest the good shit. And usually, for me, it happens. I'm like, I just manifest the shit and it just kind of happens. Like something good always, like I remember when I first flew business class, right, first time, I was so fucking happy. It was the first time I paid for it myself. I didn't even have the money in my bank account. Smith got it and I was like, oh, I need to get it as well, bro. I can't level myself down here. I need to get it no matter what, you know? And I think that sort of mentality kind of helps you. And I did that and I was like, walked in and the woman was like, hey, Mr. Kartal. I was like, fucking hell, she just called me Mr. Kartal. This is fucking amazing.
She knows my name.
But she knows my name. This is crazy. And she gave me this little package with like, you know, they give you all that stuff. And I was like, this
like
is
a toothbrush.
Yeah. But it was like a nice make. I was like, Jesus Christ. She saw how excited I was. She was like, do you want another one? I said, I mean, I'd like to take one to my mum and dad as a gift. She saw how happy I was. Yeah. And she saw that vibe I was throwing to her. Yeah. She brought me 4.
No way.
She was like, give one to your sister, give one to a girlfriend or whatever you want, give one to this, give one to that. And I was like, fuck, this is good. I'm just going to keep acting like this.
That's motivation though, isn't it? Like, I remember getting a business class flight and I was like, fuck, I never, ever want to go back. You never, and you're like, I will do whatever I need to do. I'll work in a strip bar, I'll like go on OnlyFans, like
I'll climb Everest 5 more times.
I'm never going to that back in that car class. You're like walking through, aren't you? Just like you turn left. Like, I'm never turning right ever again.
Never.
Even if it skints me doing so.
What why the army? Why do you join? Were you like, did you, I don't know, when you were younger, did you see like a soldier and you were like, I want to be that guy or whatever? Or was it like...
Do you know what? Like, I think it always appealed to me. Like, It's, I don't know, it's like hard to put like definites on it.
Yeah.
Like I always looked at it and went, do you know what? Like that's a life that I'd like.
Yeah.
It's appealing. It's got like mystique, hasn't it? You don't really know what you do. You go overseas. You fight
it gives
wars.
You a cool edge as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But like, so yeah, like, and you know, college. You know, fucking fell out. You know, came out of college in less than a year, and then just ended up doing, you know, shit jobs pretty much. Like,
did you get recruited, or was it a matter of you applying?
No, you have to walk in a careers office. So I was like working, like I was making like UPVC windows in a factory, just like in a production line.
Yeah.
And I remember I was shit at the job. Like they were trying to like promote me onto like different aspects of it. So they put me on this welding machine, and I kept welding the frames like back to front. And, and you know what? Like I look back on it, and it's not that I can't weld a frame. It was just like I had zero interest.
Yeah.
So as soon as it came to welding frames, I'd just switch off.
Yeah.
And same with it all. Like I'd always do it wrong, and I'd just be getting pulled into the manager's office, and I was like, I'm fucking bored here kind of thing. And I don't know, it's like that, you know, what do I do? Do I stay in the same town and just be that kid that never left Preston and had a shit job? Or, you know, and you know, I kind of wanted to join the Marines when I was in school. So it was like, just walked into the careers office and just applied. What
was like the emotion going into it? Like, were you like, was it weird? Was it scary?
No, not really. Like, I remember going up to basic training in Catterick, and you jump on a train and you get off the train, and like, you get told to like meet at a set location. And I don't know, I remember like getting there, and like it was all the lads that I was then going to be in basic training for the next 6 months. So I remember like, look, I can remember it now. I had these like bright blue Adidas tracksuit bottoms on, and I had a shaved head. I looked horrendous. I had like a missing tooth here, and so yeah, like it was. Do you know what it was like? It was like, you know, when you go away with a sports team, you go away to. It was like that, you know. You're just going away,
feeling a part of something, right?
Yeah. Just like bit of purpose, you know. And I don't really remember feeling nervous about it. Like if anything, it was quite exciting, and
sick.
Once you start meeting people, like
it just gets easier. Yeah,
and funny old thing, like the first guy that I met, like I walked into my room, which would be my room for the next 6 months. First guy that I met, I'm still mates with him now.
Amazing.
And that was like 16 years ago now.
Shit.
Yeah.
And what?
He's at Hereford actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And what was the emotion like leaving compared to like going in? Like, was it like, were you sad? Did you ever feel like, what the fuck? What do I do? How am I going to cope in, I don't know. What am I going to go do, like a normal job now? Or like, what was
like the intention was never to get out and do a normal job.
Okay.
Like, do you know what? Like if all else failed and I had to, like, then I'd do it. But, you know, I think I always want, like, you know, I did 10 years up in the SAS at Hereford, 4 years in the Paras, and I think kind of, you know, halfway through my SAS career, like got into the mountain stuff.
Yeah.
And I went and lived in Germany for 2 years.
Okay.
Trained to be a mountain guide.
Speak any German?
Yeah, alles. Yeah.
Can you say something?
Was, yeah. I can speak for the next. Yeah, I have to struggle. I struggle a bit to get the words out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you can speak it?
Yeah, I can speak it, yeah. I was fluent.
Really?
You have to be, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, kind of. It's like the worst language to learn.
That's yeah, I know. It's like mad aggressive as well. Not aggressive, but like...
But like, it's the worst language to learn because you go to Germany and everyone speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
And then, like, no one else, like, there's no reason to, like, basically you just don't end up speaking it or using it because everyone speaks perfect English.
But you learn another skill, innit?
Yeah, but do you know what about learning a language? You speak different languages, don't
Turkish,
you?
yeah.
So
I speak English, Turkish and rubbish.
Which one are you best at?
It's weird because my teachers at school said I'm dyslexic. I don't know if I'm dyslexic or if it's because I'm bilingual. So like when I read something, Mate, it takes me so long to read. Hence why I hate reading. I listen to audiobooks. I don't hate reading, but I just can't be bothered. My brain, like, it's doing stuff. It's converting. Something's happening, but I don't know what's happening. It's just taking so long. Yeah. I'd be on a flight and James would go, read this. I'm reading. He goes, haven't you fucking finished it? I'm like, bruv, do you speak 2 languages, mate? Yeah. So shut your mouth.
Do you know what I think about this, though? Like, when I learnt German, like, I felt like there was only a certain amount of space in my brain for language. So what I found was I'd start... Because I'm literally speaking and listening to German all day long. Yeah. Like, it's literally in the evenings that I'd sit down with, like, an English guy or a Belgian guy or a Dutch guy, and we'd talk English and just be like, fucking hell. Yeah. But, like, because you, like, started thinking German, started dreaming German. Yeah. But, like, I found I was, like, speaking English, and I'd get to a word and I'd forget that word. And I'd be like, I feel like I know where it is in my head. I know the feeling of saying it. Yeah. But I just couldn't. It was like I knew the German word, but I couldn't think of the English word. I couldn't get it out. So it was like all this German that I was learning, the English was just like coming out of here. And I remember coming back to England, and for a while I was like messaging in English, but in the structure of a German message.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I get you.
I still do it now sometimes.
That's mad.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. You can speak another language. Not many people can.
Yeah.
Not many people. Well, not a lot of English people. Really?
Nah, because we're quite...
Because English is spoken everywhere in the world. Like, it's the language every other country wants to learn.
Yeah,
so
it's
English,
weird,
German,
you know,
it is weird, isn't it?
Do you not find, like, I don't know, when you go abroad and, I don't know, like, stay at a hostel or something, and you sat, like, at a dinner table and you've got, like, loads of different nationalities, and it's like everyone's just speaking English.
Yeah.
It freaks me out a little bit.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why don't we learn their language?
Because they learn ours.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But, like...
There's no need to.
Yeah. Because, well, obviously... being in the SAS and all that, like, you did a lot of traveling, obviously, and like being in the Middle East and all that stuff. What was it like living in other countries for you? What was the feeling like? What was it like being exposed to, say, I don't know, going from Preston to seeing different cultures where, say, they have fucking tea 20 times a day? Well, I guess that's similar to English. It's similar,
just with less sugar.
Less sugar, yeah. But like, what was that like? Did you enjoy meeting people? Was it very different for you when you first got there? Were you like, Jesus Christ, they do that different? Or were you very open to?
Yeah, I love that aspect of the job.
Okay, so
traveling around and
yeah,
because I like traveling anyway. Even now, like, I'll try and travel as much as I can. So
yeah,
like, even, do you know what? Like, some parts of the Middle East, like some parts of Afghanistan, are like some of the most beautiful places that I've ever been to.
But you wouldn't see that on the media, though, would you?
Nah, and you don't feel it when you're there, really.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
But like, you know, if times were different, like, Afghanistan, I can imagine, would be one of those places that you would travel to. Yeah. Like Nepal or places like that.
Yeah, somewhere like Turkey, maybe. Like, because Turkey's a big touristic place. Yeah. And it's like pretty much down the road. Yeah. You know, so why wouldn't that be as good as that, obviously?
Well, like, like the culture's completely different. And, you know, like, you go off into, like, you know, we used to call it the green zone, which was basically like where the river runs through an area. Yeah. It's got the most forestation. But then the population is pretty much like the UK, and that it's like the population's built around the river, isn't it? Because that would have brought trade in, that would have brought water in so that people could drink and grow crops. Yeah. But some of the places are just like, you know, it's weird when I think back to it, because that was also the most dangerous areas, because that's where, you know, if you want to control somewhere, you control where, you know, the water source is and the most population is. So if you went into the green zone, you're getting into a scrap. But it was like, there was a different, there was a different, like, the air temperature was different.
Okay.
So like, you go from like desert, you get dropped off by a helicopter, walk through like baking hot desert, and then you come into the green zone, which is like loads of foliage and water. So you can feel like the water in the air, the air temperature drops. Yeah. And it's weird. It's like, I get these moments where, I don't know, it might be like this, like a summer's day, and I'm like walking near a river or something, and I get that same feeling, and I'm like, oof. It's like there's a smell change and everything. Yeah. It brings back good memories.
Is when you're doing all that traveling, right, and experiencing all those things, do you, looking at like the cultures and the people in those countries, and seeing, this is what I see when I travel to countries that are, I don't know if the right word is poorer, but I guess maybe less fortunate with, because we have a lot of opportunities.
Because they're still as happy, aren't they?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're so happy. Like, I remember, like, seeing kids in Turkey or Bali or whatever, like, you buy them, like, a little sweet, right? And the appreciation and the happiness you see in their face compared to, say, possibly us when we got it, or they would be happy for it, it's like they appreciate things, the small things, basically, more than, say, what we do, maybe.
Yeah, we're probably spoiled, aren't we? We get too much.
Yeah.
We do, though, don't we? Like, I think this, and, you know, I think that's why, you know, even just like, I think that's like as a soldier, and if you are a soldier and you've been over to Afghanistan and you experienced, you know, conflict or war or whatever you want to call it, and been shot at, and you've seen those different cultures, and I think it gives you like a base level of humility, you know. Where you come back over here and it's just like we just got these two like cold like glass jars of water, and you know, we can just drink it fresh, can't we, and pour it into a nice glass. Coffee. And we take all this stuff for granted massively, and we just got coffee across the road with money. We've got money in the bank to do stuff. It's like I drove a car in, like we do all these things every day, and just, you know, we don't realize how fortunate we are. But I guess, you know, like, it's that I like that saying that's you know, what is it, hard times produce hard men. No, what is it? Hard men produce hard times produce... Oh, God, I can't remember it. What is it? I need to get this right. Right.
Do you want me to Google it?
Hard times produce hard men produce soft times produce soft men. That's it.
Yeah? Good man. Okay, you got it.
Which is what we're going into now, right?
Yeah.
It's like post-World War II, post-World War One. We were hard people. You know, we didn't give a fuck about, you know, if someone's slagging you off on social media, that kind of stuff. You know,
we're snowflakes now.
Yeah, like, they didn't give a fuck about, you know, I've got the latest BMW. It was more about, oh, we've got a car for the family. We can get to see our next family. We've got a loaf of bread for this week. It was like, we were hard people, and because of that, we created a soft time. Do you know what I mean? Those hard people have worked to create this.
To create this freedom.
Yeah, to create us being able to go and get coffee and drink cold water.
To get overpriced juices and shit.
Right? It's good juice. Right? Leave me alone. It's a good juice. Have protein in. I need protein for muscle protein synthesis.
Mate,
right?
I know. But, like, you're right. I feel like, and like today's COVID, for example, like, it's probably like my generation's most craziest thing that's happened, right? And I feel like the reason, like you said, people went through those hard times, they went through that element of struggle so they can feel more comfort, right? And I feel like now everyone is scared to go through a level of struggle when really struggle kind of makes us stronger.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, look at it in the gym.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how you grow muscle.
Struggle, right? And then you get stronger.
Yeah.
It's the same in absolutely anything.
Would you say the struggles you would have gone through, say, being in the military, maybe you didn't struggle, I don't know, as like built a solid fucking mindset?
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah, but it all to the military, all to, you know, my years in the SAS, and, you know, being around people, and, like I said, that humility you get from just going overseas and you know, seeing conflict and being a part of it, and it gives you, like, you know, a massive appreciation for the world that I live in now, and gives you a massive, you know, just like you said, you know, we wake up every day and, like, I'm fucking happy to be here. But that takes work. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that unless you go through those struggles. Yeah. And it's like what you said before about, you know, everyone's worried about going through a struggle now, and no one wants to just, like, do something that's difficult. It's like, that's what we should be doing every day. Yeah. We should be, you know, going back.
That's what helps us grow, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Stepping out of those comfort zones, and
when like you had conflicts and stuff, and when you were being shot at and all that stuff, were you scared? Or was it like there was so much adrenaline at that point where there's no time for that?
Do you know what?
And maybe you sat down after and you were like, fucking hell, did that just happen?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, because there's so many different experiences, and like,
I mean, after all those years, there must have been so many stories.
Yeah, like I don't know, do you know what? Like when you're younger, I think when you're younger, you tend less to give a shit about things.
Yeah.
So like in the earlier Afghans, do you know, if you got into a scrap, it was just like, do you know, it's quite not funny, but like you'd laugh about it, and but like I was fucking 21 when I first went to Afghanistan, and you know, I was.
I mean, I guess if you cried about it, you wouldn't survive very long, will you?
Nah, of course. Do you know what I mean? It calluses your mind, but yeah, like I don't know. And then I think the older you get, the more like safety conscious you get, almost, don't you? Like, but the body can do just as much, but it hurts a lot more. Yeah. And I think
sometimes knowing at that point, knowing less.
Yeah, you know more. Like when you're younger, you know less, right? You're just naive. You're just happy to throw yourself into stuff. And now, you know, I've probably got I've built a life for myself now, and especially in the last few years being in special forces, it's like, you weirdly notice danger a lot more. Like if you know a contact goes down or something, and it's weird. Like if a contact goes down and you're a part of that contact, no drama. It's like, you're almost like your body doesn't have time to register the fear. Yeah, because it's because like I think what Hollywood's not done us a great favor in portraying like battles really well, and you know the whole magazine not running out and stuff like that. It's like contacts usually last, well, they can go on for days, but like generally the ones that we did whilst in the SAS, they'd last, they'd be over within like 20-30 seconds. It's
really?
Yeah, because it's so close. It's like we're going into a building. It's like you don't sit and fight from that building. You just go in and just do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do and then get out.
Yeah, and completely get out. So it's like a lot of the stuff's over really quickly. So if you're at the front and that's you that's coming to fire and you need to deal with it, that's usually over really quick. Okay. Whereas if you're at the back and you can hear what's going on, you're like, oof, and you don't know what's going on. You're like, you're like sat there, you're like, oof, what's going on? Right, that sounds like incoming. Right, fuck, something came over our head. It's like, right. It's like you can hear everything going on.
They want to know the details about it, and you're like, yeah, give me a sec, I'll tweet about it.
Yeah. So it's all like, I don't know, there's like so many different experiences that you can have like in battle, I guess.
Yeah. Sick guy. It's weird. It's like, I would love to, I don't know if I would love to see it, but it would be.
I think, do you know what? It's like,
not because it's like cool, because it's like, it's interesting.
I kind of wish everyone could. In like, hand on heart, I wish that there was no war in the world and everyone fucking shook hands and loved each other. Yeah. That's the world that I love. But
that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen ever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And, like wars fought every day between, everyone, family, friends, neighbours. Like there's, if you look at it on a macro level and then you go, well, why is it happening on a bigger level? Do you know what I mean? It's because, we're humans and that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I wish everyone could just go over and see something like that happen, or experience like a dead body or something like that,
Yeah.
Because we don't even see dead bodies these days, do we? It's like
it'll make you appreciate,
of course,
things, right?
Massively.
It's like it was Mike Tyson that says everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So it's kind of like that, right? Where you're like, you think you've got it figured out, like, or you don't appreciate certain things, and then you get a knock or you see something like that, and you're like.
Yeah,
that's happened to me a few times in Bali when I've seen people flying off a moped, and I've gone, okay, I need to keep my helmet on. I'm definitely not gonna story while I'm on the moped, and I need to like not drink and make sure I don't drink and drive.
Yeah, because that's harsh.
It's harsh,
especially in Bali, because it's like,
mate, everyone's just fucking flying around,
wasted.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, it's not even if you're sober, it's like on a Friday night. Let's go somewhere walking distance, because even if you are a good driver or whatever it is, it's not even about you. It's about the other dickhead that might come flying into you.
Yeah, and you do that thing, don't you? Like you build up that false sense of security where you've been out like a few times on the bike, you've not been hit, popped a wheelie or like done something stupid, and it's like you've survived it, and you're in a set of flip flops and board shorts. It's like you.
And the mad thing is, the more you do it, like the more I go there, the more time I spend there, or whoever, you're putting yourself more at risk. There's more of a chance of it happening.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So with all your travels and everything, obviously you love climbing, you love being outdoors and all of that stuff. If you had an opportunity, would you go to space?
Yeah. 100%.
You smile. You got excited
100%.
when I said that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Would ya?
Yeah. I wouldn't do the whole Mars colonization.
Okay, you just want to go up there.
I'd go up there, yeah. Wouldn't mind touching the moon, something like that.
But
I
you'd
wouldn't
wanna
mind
come
going
back.
to Mars, but yeah, I'd like to come back.
You'd like to come
I've
back.
got a good life here.
Yeah.
Like, how boring would that be, going up to Mars with just like
No Netflix.
10 dudes and 10 chicks, just like, gotta move quick on this one.
Tinder, anyone?
You two? No. Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
100%.
I think, do you know what? I think it's like, I think you're stupid not to believe that there's something out there, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I reckon there is and they haven't told us.
yeah. Like, I don't 100% believe like all that shit that the Pentagon's putting out about like unmanned spacecrafts. Because like, you got to like look into it a bit more, haven't you? And just go like, you know, like you think about America's just brought out Space Force. And they're obviously in a battle, like a bit of a Cold War with like Russia and China to dominate space. And you know, if they say that they've got crafts come from, you know, an alien planet or whatever it is, then they almost like dominate a bit of that space. They've got the technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I think you're stupid not to think that
there's anyone else
with the size and scale of like the universe, right, and the galaxies and all that kind of stuff. It's
and not even one universe.
It's mental.
There's loads.
I love space.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's mad. I remember I first got into it when I watched Cosmos.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
I haven't, no.
Darren, read the book.
Really? Yeah. I started watching it years ago and I used to listen to
audio book.
Yeah, I used to listen to Thingy's podcast, Star Talk.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
And Smith started getting into a bit of space stuff. And I was like, listen to this podcast. And he's fucking obsessed with it now. So.
Yeah.
But it's mad, isn't it? Sometimes like, I know, you know, when you go somewhere, probably where you live or somewhere outside of London where you can actually see the stars. It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? Like,
it's quite humbling.
Yeah, it is. It's like, imagine going all the way up there. Like,
yeah.
How fucking crazy would that be?
But it's like I was in Chamonix recently and did a couple of overnights.
Yeah.
Just like took a sleeping bag, slept outside under the stars, and and you're like literally just, you know, clear sky, like nothing, no clouds in the sky, and you're looking up at all these stars and can literally just see like comets, like shooting stars, like everything, because there's no light pollution. It's quite humbling to think that there's like so much out there and you're just on an even smaller rock that's spinning in this like massive.
We're like nothing.
Massive. Do you like all the quantum physics?
I do, but I love it. I love listening to people. Sometimes I find it hard to understand, so I'm always rewinding and trying to listen and then looking up what they said.
I almost feel that it's like the people that are trying to explain it don't fully understand it themselves, so it's the
They're
theory that they put
out
on something that they don't understand.
Okay.
That's my theory. Because like you read about all these theories, right? Like string theory. And because I try and understand them on like, you know, if I can just understand a little bit. Because like I'm interested in that person's head. And just like, how the fuck does he think of that?
Yeah.
He's a clever dude.
Yeah.
You know, like,
how's he calculated
Einstein,
that?
Right? Like, like all those people, like
back then.
Yeah.
Mad.
Like no Google.
Nothing. No Google.
You just
we
Google it, mate.
What does this mean? Bang.
Yeah.
Shows you.
How many stars are in the sky? Google.
Yeah. It's fucking mental.
Yeah.
And they've also found Earth-like planets. So like the mad thing is, whatever's happening here with us, the same thing could be happening in a different universe, either ahead of time or before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there could be similar things happening. I don't know, with flying fucking cars. Who knows? But
you don't know.
You don't know, which is sick. It's so
like,
cool.
Like, it could be like dogs that look like, I don't know, just like animals and stuff like that. It's crazy. But then like going back to that, it makes you think, like, because, you know, thinking about the Earth and like the amount of time that the Earth's got left, because that's quite sad.
It is.
And I can't remember who said it recently, but someone said that they predicted that there were people or life forms or a life on our planet before us that's never been said before, kind of thing, because of the rotation, like the cycle of the Earth. Obviously, you have an ice age, then all the ice melts, and then
it kind of
warm enough for life to live on it and all that kind of stuff. But like, think about us now, right, and what we've built.
Yeah.
And then one day in the future, which is if you're thinking about time in the time of, say, the universe, of when the universe was perhaps born and died.
Yeah.
Like, this Earth will just be nothing. Do you know what I mean? It'll be dust.
We'll be nothing.
Yeah.
All our fucking followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing, bro. We're nothing.
Like, we'll be nothing.
We're nothing.
Once. This studio will just be like
gone.
It won't even be something that's remembered.
I know.
That's the crazy thing, right?
And it will be people trying to figure it out like we are.
Or not.
Because
there's places out there now that might be exactly the same.
Yeah.
That are just like dust.
Fuck. You know what? I've never done mushrooms, but I want to do mushrooms and just talk about this shit.
Yeah. Just go deep.
Deep, like, so deep you can't find yourself. Yeah. But like, I do love talking about it, and you get into these conversations and it's like, fuck, it's so, like, when you talk to someone that is interested in it as well. Because I think we don't, and when everyone has, like, say, if you got a problem, you're having a bad day, whatever it is, you're trying to solve something. The mad thing is, like, I feel like us people in general, we like to over-exaggerate a situation, a problem. And when you think about the bigger scheme of things, of everything, life, space, all this stuff, it's like, we're nothing.
Nah.
Our problem is nothing. Like, what we probably complained about, someone listening to this complained about the fucking coffee that they got from Starbucks this morning. It's fucking nothing.
Sad, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
When you think about it, like, and then you, like, relay it back to what we were speaking about at the start of the podcast, and just, like, that guy who just doesn't want to, you know, step out of his 9-to-5 job and do something that might equally make him so fucking happy.
Yes.
When you think about it, and like think about this studio just being dust in a fucking
do it now, take
years.
action.
Do
it now.
We're telling you, go and do it now.
Yeah. Like the Avengers before Thanos comes and fucks things up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What how intelligent do you have to be SAS? Like, have you ever like worked with someone and gone, how the fuck have you ended up here? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. But then, like, I think, you know, everyone brings a different carrot to the party, and you know, you've got guys in there that are super intelligent and have like a massive IQ.
Yeah.
You know, I talk a lot about, and especially in the book, I talk a lot about emotional intelligence, so EQ, and AQ, which is adaptability.
Is that what that is, AQ? Okay.
Yeah. So, like, you know, to be, you know, a good special forces soldier, you don't necessarily need to be intelligent, because like IQ is, you know, academic intelligence, isn't it? It's, I can recall a load of information and solve maths equations, and you know, Einstein's IQ was insane. Do you know what I mean? But he probably couldn't hold down a good relationship with his wife or something like that, and that's EQ, right?
Yeah.
And to be a good soldier, I need to have good emotional intelligence to be able to say, right, these are my guys, these are the people that I work with.
Yeah.
I know I know all the ins and outs of each one of these guys, so that, you know, if Dave's on the range that day and he's shooting and he's not hitting targets and he's not, you know, speaking to anyone in the group, then there's something wrong with him, kind of thing.
And you know how to get him back. And that's what picking that up isn't the important thing, right? As a team, as well as solving problems in other countries, right?
Sure. It's like, you know, you have to look after yourself first and foremost, but then look after the team. And like, that's, you know, if you've got a team that's all looking out for each other and all working well, it's like the skill bit you can bring in. Yeah, the skills, like binary, isn't it? Skills there, but like if you've got a cohesive unit that everyone looks after everyone, you know, everyone's checked their egos, no one's, you know, slagging anyone off and that kind of thing, and they all work really well.
Yeah.
Then you bring the skill into it. That's when you've got something, you know.
Do you think that's why you got chosen for like SAS Who Dares Wins? Because you're good at that. Because you're good with people. Because you're very nice to talk to.
Yeah.
Like, you can just keep talking, which is a very good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And do you reckon, is that something like you had to apply for? Did they be like, hey, you Channel 4, what are you saying? Was it like that? Or is it something you wanted? Is it something you aimed for? Or was it just like,
not really,
just happened?
like, it's weird, you know. I think I left the army in August 2018, and like my life since then's just gone, like, you know, completely, I don't know, not the direction that I want it to, but then I'd say I'm not someone that sits there and goes, in 5 years I would like to have this, and this.
Same,
I just do things from feel, and if something feels good, then I'll go and do it.
Yeah.
And if I know that I'm going to get value off it, and I'm going to have a good time at the same time, and
I'll
give value.
It.
And of course, and give value too. Yeah, that's important. And the SAS Who Dares Wins thing, it was one of those. It was like I got we were chatting to the production crew, did the interviews, and then I got picked. It's
sick.
Yeah.
Did when you did like the celebrity one, was there anyone that you were like, oh, I'm excited to meet that person, or you're like, I don't give a fuck?
Not really. Like I've never.
You never fanboyed.
Nah,
yeah, you don't care.
I don't like. People are people, right?
Yeah.
And it's one thing I learn. Like I think the older I get, or I'm not that old, but as I get, the wiser I get, maybe. But it's people are people, right? And it's like, I don't know. People get phased out by
that
famous people or whatever, but they just shit in a toilet, get up, have breakfast, and drink coffee just like we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're they've got their own story, and
And
everyone. I always think that about companies.
Yeah.
Because I've met like quite a lot of companies, and like a good friend told me, she was like, look, it's like you get phased out by, for example, like going to meeting Nike or something like that. It's like you think that that like it's like a company. It's like all, I don't know, it's scary and stuff. It's like it's just a load of fucking people.
Yeah, you go sit down.
Half of those are useless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a guy with funky chino shorts and high top Nike socks with Jordans
glasses on his end of his nose, and he's
with
like,
a yellow hat. And you're like, oh, you're just a person.
Yeah, just like
you just got that brand on you.
You're actually like shit at conversation, and I can't. Yeah. And you figure out all this stuff out, and it's like
it's not a big deal.
Nah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's good. What so you climbed Everest twice.
Yeah.
I feel like I can talk to you all fucking day, but what time you got to leave?
I was thinking that. Yeah. We're good. We've got plenty of time.
You climbed Everest twice. Okay, I get that you climbed it once. Why the fuck did you do it the second time? Yeah. Was it that good of a feeling?
It's just, I don't know. It's like I got the opportunity to go and do it.
Yeah.
And if I got the opportunity to go and do it again, I'd do it again.
Really?
Yeah, it's an experience.
And take me up there?
Yeah, 100%.
Do you reckon I could do it?
Yeah.
What's the difference? I know there's like, is it like there's a base and then there's like different, because I see a picture of you with like oxygen mask on and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can do that, big man. I'm a city boy.
You're probably used to sucking no oxygen.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So you got like base camp, which is at 5,000 meters.
Yeah.
So if you think like the highest mountain in let's say Mont Blanc's the highest mountain in Europe. Okay. There's one in Russia that's bigger, but so Mont Blanc's just under 5,000 meters.
Okay.
So base camp's 5,000. I want to say 5,400 meters above sea level, so 5 kilometers above sea level. So, like, if we were to just fly to that height now, you'd probably get sick and could potentially die.
Okay.
So you've got to build up to that height,
that altitude
gradually. So 500 meters altitude a day is roughly what you aim for. That takes 10 days to get to base camp, and then you live at base camp you're there for kind of 3 weeks, 4 weeks until you
get used to.
Yeah, well, you stay there for about a week and a half, and then you start climbing up to the higher camps. So you've got 4 camps before the summit, all like individually spaced up till just short of 9,000 meters, which is the summit.
It's mad how your body. It's crazy how like amazing like our bodies are, right? How you have to like adapt to that. I remember when I first went to my dad's village in Turkey. He's quite high, and he's fine. He's like used to it. He was there like every summer, wherever it is. And I'm like, fuck, it's like midday. I keep yawning and I keep wanting to sleep. I keep napping. I'm like, what the fuck? It's lack of oxygen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm like, shit. And then I was like, I can't believe I didn't realize it. My dad's running around. He's feeling fine. You got this skinny kid that takes the sheep up and down the mountain every day. He's the fittest fucking person I've ever seen. You know what I mean? He's like a mountain goat. The way he climbs up and down, that's probably what you're like. Do you know what I mean? But like, I forget how crazy that is, and that wasn't even that high.
Yeah.
So I imagine, like, it's a pretty fucking cool achievement being able to climb Everest. Like, how many people could say they did that? There must be a lot of people that died on the way up.
Yeah, there's loads of bodies. Like we had.
Have you seen any on the way up?
Yeah, I think it was like 10 or 11 that died. So I climbed last year, 2019 and 2017. I think 2019, was quite, because there was like a mad rush to get to the summit just because the way the weather turned out. So you just ended up with loads of people just heading up for the summit at the same time.
Yeah.
So we passed probably, 3 or 4 bodies on the way up, and then
what was it, frozen or?
Yeah, it's pretty savage, to be honest. It's quite sad. Because like I wouldn't want to go that way,
Nah.
Like it's not like you accept it.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't want to die on the mountain kind of thing.
You have a climbing partner or something like that? Or
yeah.
Do you have a group?
So yeah, we had a group. So like I'd lead the expedition, and then everyone's like pretty experienced anyway, so you can pretty much leave most of the guys to themselves. And then you go out with Sherpas, which are, Nepalese mountain ninjas. They're born over there. They're the same. Like I've used a Sherpa called Mingma quite a lot.
Yeah.
And he is, well, they're all called Mingma, but he's called Mingma David, which is.
Okay.
But he was on my first Everest summit, and like Mingma's probably about, I'd say like 55 kg.
Oh, really?
Maybe 60.
And I bet he's just up and down like it's
Mate,
nothing.
like I've seen him carry rucksacks probably the same size of him.
Really?
Full of like oxygen bottles, tents, food, like everything, and he'll just come down the mountain with it. And he won't like when we summited, he was with.
Does that for a living?
Yeah, he does that all season.
That's
like
mad.
He's like he's like the youngest guy to climb all 14 of the 8,000 meter mountains.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean,
he'll just have like a trickle of oxygen. So you've got like different flow rates.
Yeah.
It all goes off litres per minute.
Yeah.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the new ones have like 6. A bottle's got, fucking hell, I should know this. So many litres in.
I'd be there sucking up all that oxygen.
So that's the thing, right? You get people that go up and they'll have, 12 bottles of oxygen and 3 Sherpas and, these big fat Chinese like guys with plenty of cash, and the Sherpa will just keep changing bottles of oxygen out.
From the cash.
Yeah, and they'll just be sucking clean oxygen all the way up and skipping all the way up kind of thing. But like ideally, I think, I'd use maybe 3 or 4 bottles of oxygen. A Sherpa would use 1.
Yeah,
and he literally just has it trickling out.
Really?
Yeah, they're strong guys.
Mate, I would want to test. I would love to see. I know jiu-jitsu's got nothing to do with it, but when you're like, there's a lot of points where you're not fucking breathing and you're just trying to hold, and you're trying to drop your heart rate and be chilled when you're moving. I'm assuming it's kind of like that, where you have to be very composed, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you are, you
have to lower your breathing?
You can't.
You can't, because you're climbing.
Breathing, yeah. Breathing's one thing that you're doing up there. You are, because you need to get the oxygen.
Yeah, okay.
So I use a few breathing techniques. But yeah, like summit day, you'll literally like couple of steps, like keeling over, like doing the old classic resting on the.
Really?
Yeah, you're fucked. Like, and especially like so like the first summit, like I was, I don't know, like it's weird. It's one of those things. It's like the first summit attempt, I had so much energy. I was like climbing so fast. I felt like I am now if I went for a run.
Yeah.
Second summit attempt last year, like I just remember I wasn't fucked, but I just didn't have as much energy at the top.
Yeah, okay.
And we tried to summit maybe 2 weeks before, and I got ill, ended up getting diarrhea.
I was gonna ask, where the hell do you take a shit?
Up high, you don't really shit
because there's nothing.
Because your body just not.
It's
your body's not digesting food. Like you eat something and it just like kind of digests it. So you've got to go like high calorie, sugar.
Yeah.
Like fats will just go straight through you.
Just carbs.
I just use the old gels. Above like a certain altitude.
Electrolytes, whatever you can.
And then just try and drink water. But again, your body's not really doing much. So yeah, so like that last summit attempt, I was like, I wasn't fucked. Like I was there. Do you know what I mean? I've got to be 100% like focused on what I'm doing and stuff. But like I just remember taking two steps up and I'd just be like, just like you breathe in heavy, like you just no energy kind of thing. It's
because I guess like the climbers you're with as well. Like, I mean, I'm assuming it would be horrible to go up there with someone that's really clumsy. Yeah, because in essence, people could be putting your life at risk if they're doing stupidness while on their way up, right? Are you like all very close to each other when you're climbing and stuff?
Yeah, you're all on one rope.
So like someone could possibly die because of someone else's mistake, or no?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's, you know, like when people say that climbing high altitude mountains is dangerous, I usually say, well, you know, it's usually it's other people that are dangerous.
Yeah.
Like myself, like I'll take I'll stack the odds in my favours and do everything that I can that anyone that's with me is safe and as best prepared as possible, and we've got all the right kit and equipment, and we've got food, and you know the tents are set up and the oxygen's ready. I'll make sure that everything runs smoothly so that, you know, I've sense checked them. They're all experienced enough to go up to the high altitudes and
sleeping.
Yeah, well, yeah, you sleep. It's fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Everest is just being uncomfortable for 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like even at base camp, you're like, because like there's not much to do, right? So
yeah, other than climb.
Yeah, so like a lot of the days you just get up, and then in the mornings you've got some sun, so you sit out, like get some tunes on, like a speaker, like drink some coffee, stand around chatting. You'll go for a walk, enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
And then come like 12, 1 o'clock, the whole place just gets covered in cloud. And then snows sometimes come, like sleet, have a little afternoon snooze, some food, and then game of cards. And then towards the end of the day, you're just like, right, I'll just crash.
What's the feeling like when you're at the top? Like it must be, is it like when you're up there, you're like, that was worth it?
Yeah, no, like it's one of those weird things, right? It's like, I don't know, you say Mount Everest.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks, fuck, highest mountain in the world.
Yeah.
But it's just a patch of land, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's like, it's a patch of land.
Oh, what's
on
next?
This earth. Yeah.
You're like, oh, what's next?
So you get up there and you're just like, so this is the summit. I'm here. It's to say it's an anticlimax would be.
Were you, is this all in your book?
Yeah. Yeah, all this is in there.
What, when the book offer came, were you excited? Was it unexpected?
Yeah, like, do you know what? The more I think now it's written.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's ready to go and be published.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think at the start, like,
it's a bit stressful.
Trying to like figure out what it would look like, and
it's called Soldier.
Soldier, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Respect is earned, but
yeah.
Yeah, and then there's that thing, isn't there? It's like I'm just like a kid from Preston. The next minute I've got a book on the shelves. It's
That's
like
amazing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, which is great. So yeah, like now I'm excited. It's going to be releasing mid-November.
What can people expect from the book?
So the book it's called Soldier, and I've basically kind of looked at my life and looked at kind of why I've done things and all the knowledge that I learned whilst in the Special Forces, and I've basically just broken it down into chapters. So the chapters themselves are written Soldier, so SOLDIER, and they all mean something individual, which all equates to being the best soldier that you can be, but also that you can take that and put it into anything that you do, whether you're in a sports team or
so basically
you want to put it into your 9 to 5
the skills
or whatever
that
it is.
we were talking about, that mindset, bringing that across to in a way where everyone can understand and apply it to their life.
Yeah, 100%. So like S is self.
Okay,
it's all about, you know, being the best version of yourself and understanding yourself. O is opportunity, and you know we've talked about opportunity on this podcast. And, you know that's essentially what I've done throughout my life is seize opportunity. Yeah. L's leadership, talks about leadership. D's danger and like my relationship to it, and again like fear of failure and all that kind of stuff. Intelligence, so emotional intelligence, academic, adaptability. E is excellence, so obviously something that you do in the Special Forces is try and be the best, try and excel in everything that you do. And then resilience, which is, you know, getting through difficult shit.
Fine, I'll buy it, mate. Sick. I'm looking forward to it.
Cheers.
I'm definitely not going to read it, but I'll audiobook it.
Yeah. It's my voice.
Sure.
So,
it's going to be your voice?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, fucking yes.
Yeah.
And anyone that listens to this, anyway, if they like your voice, they're probably going to buy both anyway. So I'm excited for it.
Cheers, mate.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait. I've got one more question before we finish up. I heard rumours that you're going to race or something.
Yeah, so I signed to a race team for next season.
That's mad.
Hopefully the season after, yeah.
So you're going to Can you race? Are you learning to race, or what's that about?
The funniest thing is that I signed to the race team without them ever seeing me race or drive a car.
That's what happens when you climb Everest twice.
Nah, like, do you know what? Like, we talk about opportunity and
new chapter.
Mate, I love doing fucking exciting stuff.
Sick.
And racing cars is fucking exciting to me. Like, climbing mountains is exciting.
Yeah.
And I got the opportunity during lockdown and instantly just said yeah. And like the cars are Praga R1 Evo, it's called.
Okay.
So it's like tiny, not a tiny little car, but it's like a full aero car.
Okay.
Produces like 315 brake horsepower. It weighs 600 kg. So it's like a serious bit of kit.
That's mad.
So yeah, I'm gonna be racing that for the next year.
When's the first day on the track?
So I've started already. So I've been going on the track most weeks. And then so I do my race license tomorrow actually.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, up at Mallory. And then
sick.
And then I should be jumping in the Praga to get used to the Praga then. And then the first race in the event is next March.
You'll be writing about that on book 2.
Yeah.
Hey,
it'd be called Driver.
Hey, you get good at that because then I want to come sit in the passenger seat and see what it's like.
100%.
I'll be buzzing.
100%.
Hey, I could talk to you all day, but you know what? We're gonna save that for another podcast. I want to say thank you for coming on. I really appreciate your time, bro. And for anyone that's listening, where can they find you? You know where to find him, bruv. Make sure you buy his book. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, to the podcast, to YouTube and everything. And for people that don't know where to find you, where can they find you?
Probably on Instagram's that I'm most active. So J_Morton.
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook.
Boom. There you go. I always hate saying that. I don't know why.
Else. Trying to think.
Tinder. Swipe up.
Grindr.
Yeah. I always hate saying that.
Different
like,
name though.
Where can we find you? I'm like, bruv, I know where to fucking find you. That's how I got you here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if anyone else.
Find anyone now.
Google.
Google. Yeah.
Google. But yes, guys, I'll chat to you guys soon. Peace and love, and thank you again for coming on.